So, hello everyone. Today I will talk about a story. The name of the story is The Gift of the Maggie, written by Henry. So, let's start the stories. So, please listen carefully. Young girl combing her hair by Pierre Auguste Renoir, 1894. Here the writer tell about the time 1894. So this was very ancient story. So I will start now. $1.87. That was all, and 60 cents of it was in pennies. Penny said one and two at a time by bulldozing the grocer and the vegetable man and the butcher until one six burnt with the silent imputation of parsimony that such close dealing implied 3 times Della counted it. So please skip the noise. The sound is coming from a motor. So please skip it. $1.87, and the next day would be Christmas. There was clearly nothing left to do but flop down on the shabby little course and howl. So Della did it. Which instigates the moral reflection that life is made up of sobs, sniffles, and smiles with sniffles predominating, while the mistress of the home is gradually subsiding from the first stage to the second. Take a look at the home. A furnished flat at $8 per week. It did not exactly beggar description, but it certainly had that word on the lookout for the mendicancy squad. In the vegetable, below was a letterbox into which no letter would go, and an electric button from which no mortal finger could coax a ring. Also appertaining Catherine was a card bearing the name Mr. James Dillingham Young. The Dillingham had been flogged to the breeze during a former period of prosperity when its possessor was being paid $30 per week. Now, when the income was shrunk to $20, the letters of Dillingham looked blurred, as though they were thinking seriously of contracting to a modest and unassuming doctor. But whenever Mr. James Dillingham Young came home and reached his flat above the was called Jim and greatly hugged by Mrs. James Dillingham Young, already introduced to you as Della, who is all very good. Della finished her cry and attended to her cheeks with the powder rag. She stood by the window and looked out dully at a grey cat walking a grey fence in a grey backyard. Tomorrow would be Christmas Day and she had only $1.87 with which to buy him a present. She had been saving every penny she could for months. With this result, $20 a week doesn't go far. Expenses had been greater than she had calculated. They always are only $1.87 to buy a present for Jim, her Jim. Many a happy hour she had spent planning for something nice for him, something fine and rare and sterling, something just a little bit near to being worthy of the honor of being owned by Jim. There was a fire glass between the windows of the room. Perhaps you have been a pier glass in an $8 bed. A very thin and very agile person may, by observing his reflection in a rapid sequence of longitudinal strips, obtain a very accurate conception of his looks. Della, being slender, had mastered the art. Suddenly she whirled from the window and stood before the glass. So now Della's beautiful hair fell about her, rippling and sinking like a cascade of brown waters. It raced below her knee and made itself almost a garment of her. And then she did it up again nervously and quickly. Once she faltered for a minute and stood still while a tear or two splattered on red carpet. So I skip few paragraph from the middle and the now I will read the last paragraph. So the Maggie, as you know, were wise men, wonderfully wise men who brought gifts to the bed in the manager. They invented the art of giving Christmas presents. Being wise, their gifts were no doubt wise ones, possibly bearing the privilege of exchange in case of duplication. And here I have plainly related to you the uneventful chronicle of two foolish children in a flood who most unwisely sacrificed for each other the greatest treasures of their house. But in a last word to the wise of these days, let it be said that of all who give gifts, these two were the wisest. Of all who give receive gifts, such as they were wisest. Everywhere they are wisest. They are the Maggie. So thank you so much. Tata, bye bye.